You need to stop recruiting the wrong partners. Reduce your customer acquisition costs and churn by 47% with this one fix. You signed 12 partners last year. How many actually closed tangible deals? How many deals have been tangibly closed? If the answer is less than you like, you have a partner selection problem and not a partner activation problem. Most partnership programs fail in the recruitment phase. They sign partners who look impressive on paper, big brands, lots of presence, great LinkedIn presence, but never generate a single dollar of revenue. And the problem is you're recruiting based on vanity metrics instead of predictive criteria. I'm going to show you the exact framework that separates partners who produce from partners who produce from partners who waste your time. By the end of the video, you'll know how to score any potential partner and predict with 80% plus accuracy whether they'll drive revenue. And just quick proof, generated $1.5 million in revenue by myself as an individual sales rep in a channel-driven company, helped Change Curve AI close 2 deals within 14 days of just implementing the first partner in the partner program. So I know how to not only do this myself, I've lived the system myself, but I've also implemented in SaaS companies. So the problem why smart companies sign bad partners, here's what usually happens. Your partner recruitment process, someone fills out your partner application form, they have an impressive website and client list, your partnership program gets excited, you sign them. 6 months later, 0 deals, 0 pipeline, 0 engagement. And what keeps on happening is you're valuing partners the same way you'd evaluate a vendor, not a revenue channel. What you're probably looking at, the company size, brand name, number of total customers, how enthusiastic they sound, their existing partner portfolio. What actually predicts the success is, do they have bandwidth to sell for you? Do they work with your ideal customer? Will they dedicate actual resources? Can they close deals at your size? And the expensive truth is signing the wrong partners can cost you 6 to 12 months of just hoping they'll turn, which is wasted time, and burned internal credibility with your stakeholders, whether it be if you're the CEO, if you're the head of sales, even for the partnership person, like, all the people around you are going to be like, what's going on? Opportunity cost from partners you didn't recruit. So the fix, a scoring system that predicts revenue potential before you waste a single hour of enablement. 3C scorecard, and this is where the main groundwork kind of comes in. Same economic buyer, same ICP, 5 times easier, right? You want to make sure they're aligned to the business outcome. So when you look at business outcomes, right, what is that customer business outcome? Okay, you might sell a SaaS software, and let's say it's a CRM software, right, a customer relationship management software. Okay, you sell the software to them. Okay, they might need help actually implementing it. Okay, so who could we partner up with? Maybe a land of affiliates, of consultants. Okay, a consultant can help them actually optimize it. So you're like, hey, you partner up with a consultant. You're like, hey, if you sell our software, we'll give you a piece of the pie. And it incentivizes them. Kind of what HubSpot does. People literally in this market, they use HubSpot. They sell HubSpot purposefully as a HubSpot partner and implement it so they can optimize and get more revenue for themselves. So they're looking for the customer business outcome, and then you gotta look for the partner business outcome and tailor to that. Capacity, capability, and commitment. This is more so strategic. Affiliate's gonna have a whole different process. Like you don't need a 100+ person sales team, and obviously this is very dependent. I don't love this, even though I'm putting this on here. Do they have a bandwidth to actually sell for you? That's the main key, right? Like if it's a smaller partner, you realistically want to choose someone at your revenue size, at your capacity size, or a little bit below, a little bit above, right? You don't want to go too big. And the reason I put this is because it's more so exposure, right? If you intake like an amazing product, like you want someone to have a lot of distribution to push out for you. But if you don't, if you're not really a market differentiator, then you have to be realistic with your timelines, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to know where you're playing at and how to best handle that. So this is why I tend to recommend a 5 to 20% person team. If you're 1 to 10 million, the closer you are, tinier team, the more scale you are. 5 to 20. I think past that, the 20 to 50, depending if you want to go to different swim lanes of if you're joining through new geographic territory, stuff like that. It's very nuanced, but this should help you get a framework. So red flags, they're excited, but they need to hire someone first. You don't want that, right? You want to have someone who is either dedicated to you or dedicated to the business outcome. Can't name who specifically will work with your partnership. You want to make sure they have a customer-facing asset that you can speak with. Currently working 15 plus technology partners. Realistically, it's unless you're like a grand amazing product, which is typically what's tailored for this here. If you're like an average product, which is nothing poor about to say, but if you have a lot of competitors in the space and there's someone else who has higher market share and higher brand awareness, you're going to be ignored. And that's, you have to know what situation you're playing in. If you want to get to that spot, you just have to play your cards right. So what to ask, how many people on your sales team, how many consultants could deliver a solution, who specifically would be our day-to-day contact, how many active partnerships do you currently manage, right? They want to make sure you're transparent about the relationship. And so too, the capability, right, which is one of my, honestly, like very, very important. Can you actually close deals in your target market? And that comes down to the business outcomes, right? Do they serve the business outcome of the end consumer? Deep expertise in your vertical portfolio case studies with your economic buyer, proven track record of selling similar deal sizes, or something of like, if they have sold a SaaS software, maybe you could displace other SaaS software, right? Strong general capability, some vertical experience. Go through these scorecards. Top to bottom, wrong buyer alignment, no relevant case studies, deal size 5 times smaller than yours. It could be variant, but you want to have someone who has an ICP. Typically, the ICP would probably be the same. If it's the same, then the deal sizes are probably typically similar, or not too far apart. So, most important question: who at your customer companies makes the buying decision for your services? Right? If their answer doesn't match your economic buyer, stop there. It doesn't matter how capable they are. If they're talking to IT and you sell to the CRO, this partnership will be 10 times harder than it needs to be. And it sounds so obvious, but it's one of those things you don't really grasp or understand, that people get so rah happy, like, oh, let's partner together, let's break it on the market. But and there's even nuance with that IT, right? Like if you sell to cybersecurity and you're selling to a network admin, but you're working on the telecommunication side, like they have no relationship together, like unless it's a super small firm or one man show where they're only talking to one person, then yeah, they could overlap, but realistically, it's not gonna be the best case. So you really gotta have to get nuanced in terms of how deep how deep the vertical is for your economic buyer, and finding alignment from there. So what makes capability, right? Practice areas. Do you have a practice focused on problems your product solves? Have you closed deals in your target industries? Can they show you 3 to 5 case studies with measurable outcomes, right? What other technology partners do they work with successfully? Economic buyer, are they in the room with your buyer? Red flags: can't provide case studies in your vertical. Average project size is 1/10 of your deal size. Sell to completely different buyers. Sell to IT, you sell to finance, and no existing customers that match your ICP. So commitment, which is also a big piece. Will they actually prioritize your partnerships? And it's great to have amazing 30, 50, 60, 100 partnerships, but if they're not going to sell here, then it's useless, right? The net is still zero. So, are they aligned? Are their executives aligned? Are their dedicated resource committed? Are there a joint business plan co-created? Are they willing to invest in, marketing development funds or time, right? If there's no executive alignment, no dedicated resource, partnership is a side project, who won't commit to regular meetings. And this goes for you as well, watching this, the SaaS founders, head of sales. You really got to make sure, if you're going to do partnerships, you commit to it, because yes, it is work, but like anything with work, with sacrifice, with risk, there's a reason why not everyone can pull it off. It's because it's hard. And if it's hard, that means there's a higher risk, there's a higher return on that investment. So, and you got to look, it can be done, right? You look at these big multi-billion-dollar companies, you look at these, multi-nine-figure companies in the SaaS space, it's because they leverage their partnerships. So you ask these questions in the first conversation: who's your executive sponsor for this partnership? Exactly. Basically, just a fancy way of saying who's your face front, who's your sales rep, how many hours a week can your team dedicate to this? And if you're channel driven only, it will be very, very succinct. So you really want to determine whether you want to be direct only or direct and channel, which I find it is difficult culturally to really get buy-in from partners. It's easier for political things to change, like, hey, this person's not pushing me, blah, blah, blah. But I prefer channel-driven only because I feel that's the most leverage. Can we set up a weekly sync for the first 90 days? What resources are you willing to invest? And what real commitment looks like? Stuff like this, right? Willing to commit to meetings, allocate sales teams, joint prospecting, stuff like that. Red flags that predict failure. Let's start small and see what happens. Translation: we're not committed. We'll loop you in when relevant. You'll never hear from us. Can't commit to weekly meetings. You're not a priority. Won't assign executive sponsors. No internal buy-in, right? I can't tell you as an individual sales rep, like how many times I go on those rah joint calls, like, yes, let's take over the territory together. Here's my lead list. Here's your lead list, and nothing happens. You know why? Because there's no alignment. There's no internal stakeholder buy-in. Everyone loves to get inbound leads. Everyone loves to get inbound leads. And the name of the game, especially in the beginning, if you're 1 to 10, reciprocity is the rule. You're going to have to give in the beginning, and I'm telling you, if you can understand and play your cards right, you can get returns faster than 6 to 12 months, as long as you set a ground rule expectation. So foundation, customer alignment. Before you score the 3 C's, check the foundation. If this is solid, the C's don't matter. Economic buyer, your ICP overlap, customer need alignment, and then real examples of misalignment. Your product, market automation for B2B SaaS companies, potential partner, agency that works with B2C retail brands, economic buyer. You sell the CMOs, they work with the e-commerce directors. Zero overlap, zero deals, no matter how capable they are. 5x rule. If you share the same economic buyer and customer profile, everything else is 5x easier. If you don't, everything is 5x harder. Do you want 5x harder or 5x easier? Me personally, I like 5x easier. So I actually built a scorecard template diagnosis, basically what kind of like where I land my services, where I go through A through Z, kind of the strategy calls I go through diagnosis, like, hey, where you guys are right now, kind of scoring your partner program and seeing, okay, are we driving as much revenue as we can? Are there holes? Where are the holes? And there's quick action plans actually within quick 14-day action plans. Obviously, they're not going to be the highest returns to set to ground rule expectations because this is an investment. However, you can give returns in the 90 days versus like the 12 months that people talk about. As long as you put your cards right and you act with speed. I'm here to invoke action, and I'm not here to gatekeep information. I'm here to gatekeep implementation. So, Chief Starter Service is a website. It's also down there below. We help B2B SaaS companies between 1 and 10 million scale their partner programs with a done with you and done for you as well. But yeah, going back, the partner evaluation process, pre-qualification, for scheduling meeting, check these disqualifiers. Raw economic buyer, no customer overlap, deal size mismatch, competing technology partners, right? Why it matters, 10 times harder to generate deals, nowhere to start co-selling, and they can't sell your product effectively because there's a conflict of interest. If they pass all 4, schedule evaluation call. First conversation, walking through your sales team structure, how many active technology partnerships do you manage today, who specifically will work on partnerships day to day with us, how many consultants could deliver solutions with our product, right? Your ability, do you have any case studies in your vertical? What's your average project size, average timeline? What makes the buying decision at your customer company? What other technology platforms do you partner with? What's your win rate on deals, XYZ range? And who would be the executive sponsor on your side? How many hours per week can your team dedicate to this? Are you willing to commit to weekly syncs in the first 90 days? What resources can you invest in joint marketing? Can we create a joint business plan with specific revenue targets? And I want to be very, very clear. They're not just pitching you, right? You are in a sea of technology vendors. Let me keep this very, very clear. You are going to have to do reciprocal in your own research and create an action business plan presentation to show where the joint alignment comes from, right? This is more so for inbound partners. But if you have partners that you're reaching out to, you need to create a business plan once they pass through these 4, right? If they pass through these 4, and these are outbound where you handpicked them, you almost have to play the reverse rule of like, okay, these are the business outcomes that we're trying to serve for ICP. You serve this business out. This is your business outcome. This is the structure we had in mind. Let's talk shop, and then go through more nuanced questions from there. Kind of picking apart different pieces here, but it's more on the inbound side, right? So score and decide. Sign and prioritize this relationship. Maybe pass. So yeah, these are some vanity metrics. You can honestly create more custom ones, but realistically, right? This is. Depending on your situation, if you're more strategic, if you're more like mid-market, if you're more SMB, everything is so varied. So it's obviously a case-by-case scenario, but this is a general ground framework. The idea is recruit only 7.0 plus partners, right? The discipline is required. Only invest in able time of partners who score 7.0 plus. Essentially, people who are very likely to serve your same ICP and bring you revenue, and also bring you revenue together with your sales rep. And it's hard because you want to say yes to partners with big brands who score 5.5. You'll feel pressure to just try it out with 6.0 partners. You'll think maybe they'll surprise us about 4.5 partners. Don't do it. Every partnership below 7.0 costs you 3 to 6 months of wasted effort. Better have 3 partners at 8.0 than 50 partners at 5.5, right? You want partners that drive the needle, where honestly saves you time and enablement and activation, but also saves you time and recruitment as well. So, I'm gonna get a sip of water. Recruitment strategy. Quality over quantity. Once you know what a 7.0 partner looks like, here's how to find them. Tactic 1, customer validated partner discovery. The most effective recruitment strategy embedded in this question into your sales and CS workflows. What other vendors and consultants do you work with, right? Who helped you implement XYZ solution? Do you work for agency or consultant for XYZ service? or reseller, whatever niche you're in, right? You gotta obviously adjust the questions. Why it works? Because partner types are pre-validated. They work with your ICP, right? And if you don't even know, if they give you a name and they're like, you can see they're using a competitor product. Okay, once you find that ideal ideal partner profile, right? You can find adjacent ones around that, and then work with those people who might not be aligned with that many tech partners. So you warm intro to the customer. Customers can make the introduction. Higher probability to score 7.0 capability. How implement? Add field in CRM. Partners customers work with. Train sales and customer success teams to ask this question every discovery call. Right? In channel driven org, they make you do that because you have to sell through partners. And it honestly, if you can do this with current customers, which I only do in the beginning, where it's like I don't even want to start unless I don't even want to work with someone who's not willing to talk with their current customers and get information. It's a great source of information. You should be constantly talking with your customers, whether it be through a database, whether it be webinars, whether it be one-to-one calls. Always be communicating with your customers. Engagement and community is key. Personalized outreach, executive outreach. Do not send, hi, we have a great partner program, want to join. And that's what most people do, right? They say us, us, us. But realistically, you should showcase the customer overlap, the revenue opportunity, competitive advantage, and proof points. Similar partnerships that have worked. And if you're starting from ground zero, you might not be able to leverage social proof, but you might have to compensate with being like, hey, give more commission, or hey, we're willing to heavily invest with you guys. You really want to ensure, especially like you starting with a SaaS business, you did not get to 1 to 10 million, based on you started with no proof event at first, but eventually you scaled and started to work. And as soon as you start getting more proof of partners that you work with to generate revenue, the more quality partners will come out the woodworks and want to sell for you. The whole goal is for you to get inbound for partners that want to sell for you, not just partners that want to add your name to their website, so they can boost their branding or whatever. So reference your customer, mutual connection, specific business problem your partnership solves for them, proof this works, data, case studies, customer quotes, ask for 20-minute call to explore for it. Right? Send this to personal people. If you minute the 1 to 10, you probably have a database like Apollo, Zoom Info, whatever it may be, that you can leverage. So 3A, 3B, difference based on strategic. I know I've covered a lot more strategic based. Affiliate/mass partnerships are so different, and I think B2C plays heavily into that. I primarily work with B2B, but I also have had experience in B2C, so I can speak on that. And affiliates in the B2B space can be used very, very well, like HubSpot, for example. So CEO should be in first meeting. I think especially if you're 1 to 10 range, you're not big enough to realistically be able to offload. Yeah, you'll have a head of partnerships, head of sales. You can offload with head of sales, but I think, excuse me, the impact you'll have with the CEO being there will really drive home, as long as these are really good partners that are like A+ and above, or 9.0 plus and above. CEO should make the executive sponsor connection. The CEO should appear in joint customer meetings early, right? Especially in this early stage where it's more strategic partners. I think it's very, very key to make that end customer and end partner feel like you're really involved in the situation, really involved in each deal, and very, very involved in the customer experience and customer outcome. And why this works shows that commitment from your side, gets the executive engaged immediately, dramatically increase partnerships priority on their side. And 3B, just talking about affiliate match partnerships, realistically doesn't have to be 9.0, but 7+, involve your executive team, executive sponsor connection, and involved in a webinar, once a month calls, or whatever structure you guys choose to do. I mean, I have my own frameworks towards it where, you might have a school community where you have like, okay, how to optimize. So Go High Level is a great case study example of how they've done this, where they have resellers or affiliates kind of work in the community and white label their product. And from there, they have a school community where it's enabling them. Okay, how can we enable them to get more leads? How to use different parts of the software? How to optimize for your business outcome, right? And realistically, it shows outcome for your side, right? When you're scaling to 1 to 10, eventually you can have the CEO come out of there. But I think in the beginning, especially if you really want to do this right, really want to scale, the commitment, it realistically is not a lot once you map it out. So red flags when to walk away. Even if a partner scores 7.0, watch these warning signs. Excuse me. Let's start small. What they say, let's do a small pilot and see how it goes. What it means, we're not actually committed. And what to do, push for specific commitments or pass. Want to sign executive sponsors? You work directly with our team. No internal buy-in. Partnerships will die when it hits resistance. And so what to do, require executive sponsorship or don't sign, right? You want to make sure the relationship is reciprocal, especially if it's a bigger organization. Can't commit to regular meetings. We'll sync when we have opportunities. What it means, you're not a priority, right? Require weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings for 90 days or pass up on it. You're here to scale. You're here to act with speed. And if you don't have the same mindset as your partners with speed, you don't want to partner with them. And there are plenty of people out there. Your main objection might be, oh, but, this is how it goes. Like, I'm telling you, people want to make money, right? But people only want to invest time when they know money is almost certain. That's almost your job, to make sure it's almost a no-brainer that they're going to make money with you. Vague about resources, what they say, we'll dedicate whatever resources we need. They haven't actually thought this through, right? So they need to get specific commitments or, walk away. And already have 10 plus active partnerships. We work with a lot of platforms, aka you're just going to be ignored. So what to do, understand how you're differentiated or prioritized, or pass up on it. There's no point. Don't invest your time. You're here for the short-term win, and eventually long-term, they're going to come to you. So if you do 2+ pass, even if they score 7.0 plus, there's plenty of partners in the sea. Focus on what's going to drive your revenue. Implementation plan of how you can get actually started very, very soon. Let's say, I think I did, 30 days. Build your scorecard. Customize 3C criteria for your business. Define what 7.0 looks like specifically for your partnerships. Create the interview guide with your questions. Align with leadership on minimum threshold. Week 2, audit current partners. Score every existing partner using the 3C framework. Identify which partners to double down on. Identify which partners to deprioritize. Create action plan. Invest in 7.0 plus. Wind down sub 7.0s. Build partner list. Use customer discovery to identify potential partners. Research 20-30 potential partners. Score them based on publicly available info. Prioritize top 10 for outreach. Then launch personalized outreach. Customize business case for each target partner. CEO founder involvement for 9.0 plus partners. Start first conversation using evaluation questions. Only sign partners who score 7.0 plus. You have 30 days. 20-30 partners scored. 5 to 8 conversations scheduled. 2 to 3 partnerships signed. Right? This is strategic. Affiliate's going to be a little bit different, but same kind of thinking. Bottom line, do they have bandwidth? Can they close deals? Will they prioritize you? And make sure they have the same customer plus buyer before you even do anything. And this is the discipline that's required, right? Only sign partners who score 7.0 plus. Walk away from impressive brands that score 5.5. 3 great partners beat 15 mediocre ones. Use customer discovery to find pre-validated partners. Require executive sponsors for every partnership. And why this matters, every partnership below 7.0 costs you 3 to 6 months of wasted enablement time, which is money coming out of your pocket. Burden internal and credibility when they don't produce. Opportunity costs from partners you didn't recruit. 50 to 100K in fully loaded partnership costs, right? And that's just to scratch the surface. You might even invest more and realize you waste even more money. Alternative, only sign 7.0 plus partners. Close first deal within 14 days, not 6 months, depending on your sales cycle. But realistically, first deal within whatever your normal sales cycle is. Generate 10 times more revenue per quarter because you're increasing your distribution one to many. Build internal credibility that funds program expansion. Create a repeatable system that scales. So, call to action, how we can end this off today. Option 1, which honestly, it shouldn't even be option, it should be all of them. Download the scorecard and start working with your partner program. That's the top link in the description. Also, if you want to get a free strategy call to kind of go over how you should build out A through Z, more nuanced to your situation. We do a done with you service where we help you build a ideal partner profile, score your pipeline, recruit separate those partners, and activate them in 90 days. Only 5 spots for the actual program. However, we do free strategy calls because we don't sell them we don't gatekeep the information. We sell the implementation. Build it for you. Only 1 spot available because we actually we prefer to put all our bandwidth to make sure our partners succeed or our clients succeed. So we only do 1 of those based on we don't like overdoing it. We don't like over leveraging. And tell me your challenge below. Right? What's your biggest challenge with partner recruitment? Are you guys getting enough partners? Are you guys struggling with partners? How much more revenue you want to make? Is your cost of acquisition going up? Is your churn going up? Like, these are problems that you can solve because partners cost significantly less to acquire, and the cost to acquire each customer goes down significantly, almost by half. And your churn goes down because trust is built because you have an end relationship with the partner who has built up trust with that end consumer. So I read every comment and often respond with specific advice for your situation, so feel free to comment. But yeah, have a great day.